shot bias, and then I'm tipping on 4 fours.
Oh, tipping on 4 foes. Get walked through the door. Paul Wall on the YouTube. This what we always do. Freestyle before we hit the scene.
Austino.
Now we about to go make a scene.
We back in the building.
Back to Saturdays.
Back to Saturdays. You already know how we do. Last week was Friday. We did Friday because you had your wedding and everything.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ruben again. You know,
Went
lovely
to a
lady.
little rock concert in Stuart, Florida.
Oh yeah.
We talk about that.
Austino was back out and he was out
Trying
in the
to have a
streets.
social life.
He was out in the streets.
I was a little self-conscious. Remember the last time you were like, you never been out before? And I was like,
hell
man, in
yeah.
Florida, I've been out a couple times. I was like, you know what? It's time to, it's a full moon. Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Man, shoot. Well, that's good. Finally.
I also brought a new potential sponsor. And this is a first exclusive for the water.
We getting an exclusive. What we doing?
Mountain Valley.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Mountain Valley.
Well, damn.
Water. We're gonna share that. No.
Yo, Mountain Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on now. Oh, you got 2 of these joints.
Yeah. What do you think? We were really gonna share?
Nah, I thought you was gonna bring like cups or something like that.
No.
2 big ass 40 ounces. Oh,
You can take it with you to home.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I can dig this.
I have a
Damn.
a glass water, but they're from England where it's not carbonated. Maybe I'll try that because sometimes you do burp a lot too.
Oh, snap.
But is this good? I haven't even tasted it.
Yo, this is nice.
Glass is where it's at, bro.
This
See the difference between plastic and glass?
dog. And I was always like that's crazy. This is some good shit.
Damn.
That is really good.
This was actually
I like
easy
that.
to get.
Where'd you get that from?
Publix, 2 for $5.
Oh shit. 2 for $5?
Yeah, I think this would be good for you, especially at work. You know?
Yeah.
Make sure you can
I was
keep
about to
track
say,
of, you should try to drink a gallon of water a day.
Yeah, I was about to say it's always.
But if you drink 2 of these, that's good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Water's
And
good.
2 of these, I could definitely down 2 of these.
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
just trying to be more healthy, bro.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to. Everybody got to and everything. So, but how was your week?
Oh,
How was your week?
I had an eventful weekend last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw my friend from California. You know, when I was staying in Hawaii, I was staying at his house, his cousin, when I went to Hawaii for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then we reconnected, and then he was telling me, so basically he sells stickers. So he goes to gun shops and he sells stickers and he works for himself 100%, like just works for himself.
Yeah.
Like, he eats what he kills,
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely like the cell life. So
Yeah. I know how that go.
so he said he was gonna go to a concert in Stuart. I didn't know anything about this band. The band was Face to Face.
Where's Face to Face?
Yeah, it's from his hometown. So he's from the east.
Shout out to Face to Face.
Yeah, he's from the east side of Los Angeles. I love rock music, but it's just a different type of rock music. I like Korn. I like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
So you old school like 2000.
Yeah, like Limp Bizkit, POD.
Yeah. Okay.
I even like Blur. So it's a little different. It almost sounded like some soccer music, like that style. But I didn't even want to listen to them before, so it wasn't bad for $50. But I'm scheming as a single man, and I was asking. I was like, hey man, because he went to the day before, and I was going to the Saturday, but it was like a 3-round Crown tour, something like that, where they performed 3 days straight in Stuart. Beautiful beaches too, by the way.
And that's over in what, South
Yes,
Florida, right?
it's between Jupiter Beach in Port St. Lucie, and so like this little small beach town. But the beaches, you don't have to pay for parking, which was really nice, and the water was like clear. Maybe for East Coast beaches, it looked really nice, and I was mad I didn't bring my bathing suit, but.
What?
Yeah, but I didn't show up. I didn't get there because I had to set my dog up. Because I wasn't gonna. So this was like the first time he's been alone for a long time. So I wanted to make sure he was good and set up.
Shout out to
Phantom. And so then after we met around 4, I get there and we're talking. And I kid you not, a little domestic dispute was popping off at the hotel, bro.
What?
I didn't even tell you this story. I didn't even tell you this story. So all I hear is yelling, and then I'm like talking to my boy outside the hotel, and we're talking, catching up on times.
What time is it?
This is like 4 o'clock.
Oh, in the afternoon.
Yeah, 4 o'clock. Okay. So I got there around like 3:30. We were talking outside till 4 o'clock. I sparked something, and and we were talking, politicking, and I hear yelling up there. All of a sudden, I hear this kid open the door. He's like, "You make me so fucking mad!" And then he goes up the rail like this, dog. Like he was about to jump off, and I'm just like, dude, I'm 38. I'm trying to avoid stuff like that. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to talk to people out of suicide. Like I will if I have to, but I avoid drama at all costs. That's why I've been avoiding these grays. So I just avoid that. So
is it that or is it more genetics?
No, a little bit of both.
All right.
Yeah, but I do stress, but. I don't stress enough to go gray, enough to go bald though. I can't say. But so he was about to jump the rail, and my eyes lit up. I looked at my friend, and I was like, oh my God, this dude's about to commit suicide. And I was like, I'm about to have to do a police report. And then I hear his girlfriend, get in the hotel. It started going back and forth. And then he comes down, and I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to smoke a joint, enjoy myself.
You're ruining my
I'm trying to have a social, bro. I'm about to go to a concert.
You about to commit suicide.
Yeah. And she was like, and he just looked at me like he's 23 years old. That's the backstory. But he looked at me. He goes,
you even know that?
I'll get to why.
Okay.
So he looked at me. He goes, she doesn't know how mad she makes me. And then just like very animated. And I was just like, yo, dude, I looked at him, I said, it's gonna get better. And then he just walks off. And then he started talking, and then he comes back with a wine bottle, and I'm just like this. And then he tells me the backstory of this chick, that she's a single mother, she's a young mother, 23, and I'm just like, damn, it's just like he's like living in a motel, and then he's like saying, oh, I know people in the mob. I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. Like, I could be a cop. And you just telling me all this stuff, and then why are you even trying to impress yourself? But like, I don't care about your mob ties. I was like, the only thing I care about is plumbing jobs. And if you can give me some plumbing jobs, you can be my best friend. Yeah. But as that whole criminal enterprise, I don't care about that stuff. Yeah. But it just showed like how delusional he was, and I kind of like distanced myself from that kid. But he was telling me his story. Like, he was 23, he just got kicked out of his parents' house. And then he's like, his girlfriend is a single mother, the baby dad's in Canada, and I was just like, my friend was ruthless. He said it's not your responsibility to take care of a single mother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, I was trying to be nice to him. I was like, well, if you love her, then,
But obviously, the dude, you already got a bunch. If you doing all that out in public, in front of, and y'all that young and stuff like that, man, just let it go. That's too much of a headache.
Yeah.
That's so much of a headache. It's not even worth it, bro.
Yeah.
Go get going. Y'all just separate.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I should give you my boy Ron's number, like, so he can tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, that ain't like your homeboy said. That ain't none of your business, man.
Yeah.
Ain't none of
it's not your responsibility. But I mean, if I was in his position and I felt like that woman had a good heart, you know, depending on the situation. But when alcohol's involved and you're hooking up and the baby's on the on the other side of the bed, that's just too much. And it's just
who did that?
They had a baby in the hotel, bro.
Yeah, no.
And they're drinking, like, instead of drinking this water, they're drinking alcohol.
They already irresponsible.
Yeah.
Y'all go separate ways. Go to y'all separate corners. Because y'all are irresponsible.
And think about it too, Ron. If the cops would have got involved, the child services would have got involved. They would have said, "Oh, you got alcohol around the kid. You're drunk." And then the baby, and then that girl loses the baby.
Yeah.
The Canadian father doesn't give a fuck because he left her.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell no.
And then I was like, man, you got mob ties, and you're staying in this hotel? I was like, a day's in? This is actually be considered a motel, not a hotel. Like,
word?
Days in.
Oh,
$60 a night. What do you expect? What do you expect?
Yeah, that's a roach motel.
Do you ever like look at plumbing like when you go to hotels? Or
I look at plumbing at
like little things like you know when you go to the urinals and you see people with the scratch chrome. I'm like, you should have put a rag on it. You use a crescent wrench or you use a spud wrench.
Or
you just notice things that are messed up.
I be going to buildings and stuff, and I be seeing like the main line to the house, to the building. I be telling babe, I'll be like, babe, one twist of this knob right here, I can turn the whole building off or shut this section off, right? Fire suppression or something like that.
Like the days they had the flexible P-trap. I was like in the hotel. I was like, man, they butchered this plumbing. Yeah,
goodness. Yeah, man.
And then you see all the scratches in the toilet bowl and be like, oh, that's from the auger.
Somebody done this toilet is shitty.
Yeah, but. So I asked my friend, I was like, yo, was there any chicks? And he texted me back at the concert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, there was a grip. Dude, I get there, it was 98% cock in there. Dude, straight up, bro.
So what is his definition there?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what
it
was
like the bartenders.
What does that mean, bro?
And you know what else about that concert? It was kind of cool because I got to reflect and think about like this age group was like dudes in their late 40s, early 50s. So I was like 38.
So you're still out of it.
So yeah, I was the youngest, like one of the youngest people there.
Okay.
So, but it was cool seeing like, man, I'm gonna be those guys in 12 years or 14 years. I'll be that guy. But you know what I liked about them? About the whole thing and the ambiance of the concert is that they were like, they like, you know that Jay-Z song Forever Young? Mm-hmm. They were just like some kids, like it was like Neverland. They were like mosh pitting, which I was like, I was getting a little tense because I was, because I didn't see any bouncers, I didn't see any security. There was nobody, like, there was 200 people in there, and I was like, this could get ugly real quick. And that's why I did that Instagram story where I said I'm nervous because I was expecting a fight. But everything was cool. I stepped back because I was like, I'm not getting in that mosh pit. And I was like,
200 people in a mosh pit, that ain't a whole lot.
200 people in like a club. Like it was like a bar. Like a backyard, like a big backyard. And it was just like 200 people, but it was kind of like a little small bar, like almost like a Fridays. And then if it had a backyard, a little stage. But it was cool. So then after the concert was done, I didn't,
how long was the concert for? How long
it was between 7 to 10.
So 3 hours. Jeez.
Yeah, yelling and all this stuff.
So then to be able to do 3 hour set.
Yeah. It was raining too. It was raining too.
Oh, damn. Man, 90, man.
Yeah.
Man, 3 hours with a bunch of dudes listening to some roar. Man, that ain't my type of steez, my type of party.
So then, after the concert was done, I was like, I was asking people around, like the locals, I was like, what's up with the Stuart night scene? And they said, the dude looked at me straight in the eye, he said, there is none. I said, so where do you guys go? Miami. And I was like, well,
I
don't feel like driving to Miami. So where I was, Miami would have been like an hour and a half drive.
Oh my goodness.
So,
damn. They gotta go to Miami.
So then you know, we go to this. So like the one night I decided to go out, I'm at this bar and you know, trying to see the scene. It's like 10:30. You know, it's like customer service ain't shit nowadays, bro. Like there's like the bartender's just staring at me, and it's just like I'm not even.
Bartender where?
At the bar that I was at. Oh, yeah, okay. After the club.
After
after the concert. I mean.
Concert. Okay.
At the club, and then we went there. It took like 10-15 minutes. I'm not pressed to drink a beer, but like, what else am I supposed to do in a bar?
It was pressing you to finish your shit?
Yeah. So I was just. So I got a beer, I drank it, and it was dead. You know, I don't know, you grew up in Atlanta, so like, the club nights were never dead. You never had dead nights. Even in DC, there'd be nights that the clubs would be dead.
You can get lit on a Tuesday night.
So it's always popping.
Yeah, depending where
so yeah, Virginia, DC is a little different. Like it goes through, you know, different times. Like in the first of the month, everybody's paying their bills. I noticed that as a server, like, you know, the first weekend of the month where people pay that month, it would be slow.
There are some slower times.
I'm talking about when I say dead, like I mean like 20 people in the club.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not in Atlanta. Never.
So yeah.
You can't go anywhere in Atlanta there's 20 people on any night.
So then I was like looking at my friend, man, and I was just frustrated being around a bunch of men. Mosh pitting.
I don't blame you, dog. That's waiting from 4 o'clock to what time now? You at 10:30?
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing soft?
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing with some long, luxurious stuff? Nah, man, you gotta change that.
And the people at the bar, and I'm not a dirtbag to hit on someone's girl. Like when I was at that bar, it was couples. It was that type of scene.
All right.
So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, your boyfriend ain't nothing, and then start like a fight. Yeah, like disrespecting people. So I was like, man,
straight up dirty Mac, you can't do that.
So then it was like the werewolf. The full moon came out. The strip club was calling my name. So the first strip club we went to, the guy comes out. He did us a nice solid. He goes, "It's dead in there, bro. I'm a strip club connoisseur. Don't go in there." And I was like, you don't get that many opportunities, like, because the bouncer's always gonna tell you it's popping, no matter what, because that's his job. So then we decided to. He said, go to Raw Sport in Port St. Lucie, which is like 10 minutes down the street. 15 minutes.
Shout out to Raw Sport.
Yeah, so 15 minutes, and then
Raw Sport.
So we start walking. I was like, 15-minute drive. I was like, that's like a 30-minute walk. I'm trying to save some money and this and that. So then I'm like walking. I push. In hindsight, I accidentally pushed. I pushed the car icon instead of the walking icon. So then I look at my friend, we're walking and talking, we're catching up, and and we're walking over this bridge, and I said, bro, it's been 13 minutes for like 10 minutes straight. I said, we've walked like 2-3 miles. I don't know what's up with the GPS. He's like, no, you got it on the wrong. I was like, nah, I put it on the right icon. And then I said, bro, I looked at the icon. It said the car icon. I was like, bro, I did the wrong icon. I said the walking icon says it's gonna be a 2-hour walk. And then he goes, I said, like that. But I had, it was like perfect timing too. It was like meant for me to go to the strip club. So the lift, I had a 50% lift. So I walked there like 5 minutes, but like I walked for like 15 minutes, didn't get anywhere. We walked like 2 miles. So then I had a 50% off on my lift.
Oh, okay.
I ordered a lift. And then, I got the lift for like $4, and then we were there in like 10 minutes. But man, I've been to a lot of strip clubs, bro. Like, you know, and this one was different, bro, in a good way. This thing was like rush hour, bro. Like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, bro. The women outnumbered the men in the club, and it was half the size of this barbershop, bro.
Oh shit.
So,
half the size of this.
Yes, yes, dude.
That's one stage.
Yes, Dude, so like if that was the corner,
right.
That's where you get the lap dance, no cover charge. So you just $20 a dance, yeah.
You up in there.
Dude, I didn't even make it 10 minutes, bro, and I was back there already. The first girl that fucking smiled at me, made eye contact. she knew that she could smell it on me. She was like, yeah.
He's ready.
But yeah,
he's ready.
It was fun, man. We had fun in the back, and it was cool. I was joking around with her. I was like, girl, I'm gonna get you out of here in 90 days. She was like, shut the fuck up and saying all this stuff, man.
Yeah, she should.
Yeah, but it was fun. My friend had fun. He actually had fun, man. And he just went through a divorce. He was like, yo, Austin, man, this was fun, bro.
Oh, he just went through a divorce?
Yeah, so he was having fun. And
you need that.
We both had fun. And
you definitely need that sometimes. Because that can definitely.
I passed out at the hotel for like an hour. He had 2 beds, and I passed out for like an hour. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't know. Are you like that, bro? Like if you sleep in somewhere, you're not like. You don't sleep. Obviously, you sleep in your bed. Oh, yeah. Like if you don't sleep in your home, you don't feel like it's hard for me to relax because that's not like where I sleep. Like I don't know the pillows. Like you know how those hotel pillows are like mad thick, bro. Yeah. And I couldn't even like. Yeah. And I was just like I just left at like 3 a.m. and then that's why you got to be careful with that drinking and driving, bro. Because they had cops everywhere around, and then 4 o'clock in the morning, I saw cops everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you always got to be careful with that drinking and driving because there's always cops looking for you.
Fuck yeah, they're gonna be ready at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
So and then I came home at like 6 a.m. My dog was like, "What the fuck?" But he was like super happy, but. He didn't have any accidents in the house, and he did a really good job. And he was like, I've made a lot of progress with that dog. If you saw him, like, sometimes I wish I would have done like a video documentary of him, but I know what it is, and sometimes I just don't like want to just film everything or take pictures of everything. I have the memories because I know. I have the memories of my dog, so
of course, that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
You got the memories. It's like your kids. So sometimes I don't record everything because I have it. It's there for me. Sometimes if they in the middle of doing something cute or something like that or whatever, and I decide I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and film this, capture this or whatever. I'll do the same thing. But not all the time you need to have your phone in their in their face and whatnot, or just have it for a little moment or whatever, or try be able to capture some type of little moment. I can see it both ways because hell, my pops had that camera in our faces since the day we was born. Like that camera I go back looking at the home footage, the home videos and stuff like that, and I'm sitting there thinking about he had this thing propped up like this, and we just sitting there running back and forth in the camera, or either we propped up like this.
This
and we
video
just sitting on a bed.
This video stuff's in your blood.
Just flicking our hands.
It's in your blood.
Yeah. In a sense.
Yeah.
In a sense, I've been getting filmed since I was a baby. Since I couldn't even roll around or nothing like that. So, yeah, that's like second nature, I guess, in a sense, because, like you said, it just came like that.
Yeah. But how was your weekend? What'd you do on Saturday while I was painting the town red in Florida?
Bro, I'm a homebody, man. I go to work. I literally go to work, and then after that, I'm at home. Especially on Saturday we didn't film, so I just probably started editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started editing the video and whatnot, editing the pod.
Nice.
Last pod. And then Sunday did the same thing. In between haircuts, edit the podcast. When we got off, matter of fact, Saturday we went. Me and Nia, we went because she got off a little bit early and I got off early, and then me and Nia, we just went out to what movie?
This is less carbonated too, bro.
I don't think this is carbonated at all.
Nah?
Yeah, that's regular water.
That's good then. It's good for you.
That's real good. Because like I said, I haven't burped one time.
Nice.
But yeah, we went and saw Mission Impossible, the newest one.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was a pretty good movie.
What is this, the 10th one?
Beats me. I think it's the 8th one, but you know, they stopped calling it 4, 5, 6. So it's called Dead Reckoning. And
my cousin actually crossed paths with Tom Cruise.
What?
When he was a doorman, like in his early 20s, at the most prestigious hotel in Boston.
Oh shit.
And
okay.
Parking's a big deal. So he was getting like $100 tips from mob bosses, but Tom Cruise stayed at his hotel, and to accommodate his weights and everything, they cut the wall in half. And he stayed at that hotel for like 90 days straight. And then he said the paparazzis were always like trying to like ask him, where's Tom Cruise? 'Cause they're trying to get a picture of him and stuff like that. But yeah, he did his thing, man. He was from Charleston, South Carolina, a little small town in South Carolina, living in Boston. And they talk different in South Carolina. Like, you know how in Florida, like, I say I'm a Floridian, right? 5 years in?
Nah, I always say 10.
5? Okay.
I always say 10.
All right, I guess I'm a little visitor then.
Well,
but you know how in Florida they say bro a lot? They say bo. They say bo. So like so when my cousin was talking like that in Boston, they're like what? But sometimes I'll say it.
That's how it was when I came from Jersey to Georgia. Jersey to Georgia, it was a whole everybody got their own slang, their own lingo and stuff, man. When I first came down to Georgia from Jersey, I'm yo son, yo son this, yo B, you know what I mean?
There was a clip. No, there was a clip in ATL. Remember when
that was me?
Yeah,
I was Brooklyn.
The New York, Brooklyn. And then you remember when T.I. he goes, "Why you say you son? Why you say why you say this?"
I was definitely Brooklyn when I first came down to New York to Jersey. I was literally talking just like that every single time. And then I'd hear them talking to me. They talking about finna this and fixing to do that. And I'm like, what the fuck is finna and fixna and all this other stuff? I'm like, I had English teachers saying finna and fixna, and I was like, what? What the fuck are we talking about? Finna, fixna? You mean we're about to, or are we going to? Nah, we finna open the book, the page, chapter such and such.
Yeah.
As the English teacher, that's how you know I was in another country. That's how I felt. At 13 years old, going out to Georgia. I was like, oh shit. And then they be speaking so fast. And be like, hey, shout out, man. Oh man, too funny.
Yeah.
Gotta love them though. That's fam. It's so funny because when you stay there long enough, man, I can go to Atlanta and I can hear a conversation going on right now and I understand every single word that they talking about, man. You know, that's just how I go. Just like if I go back to Jersey, I understand everything. Well, I don't know now. Maybe like if talking with like the older cats and stuff like that. That's from my era. Nowadays they got new young slang and lingo and stuff like that. Like even down in Georgia, I'm like, y'all speaking different nowadays. These young kids are speaking different. You know, a whole bunch of little new little words and colloquialisms and stuff like that. I'm like,
is there any other movies that you're excited to watch coming up this summer? I got one.
This summer, I don't know if there's nothing this summer. I do know, no, I guess Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is probably, that comes out in July. And then after that, I'm excited for Marvel's Doomsday.
Yeah, you're missing my most favorite movie,
Avengers
man.
Doomsday. I already know. I'm not gonna say the shit.
Jurassic World.
Oh, Jurassic World. You know what? Yeah. I'm excited for that one.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for that one. I can get with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get with that one. I'm not sure what like the whole plot is going to be. I heard it's going to be like a cross between like sort of doing like a sequel to the first 3.
You're paying like homage.
It a little bit from the first 3, and then like a little bit of the it's kind of going to be like a reboot, but then also like a reboot sequel to the first 3, like the first 2, 3, and kind of just going back into that era and stuff like that. Because the original writers, I did hear that the original writers from the first movie is going back onto that show, is going back onto that one.
I saw a billboard by my my complex, my apartment complex. They got a T-Rex at the damn Universal Studio.
What you talking about?
Like a robotic T-Rex, like life-size T-Rex. I saw a big billboard. He's like, "We got the T-Rex."
What you mean? I don't know. I done been to Universal plenty of times. The only T-Rex that I do know is the one that's in the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one they were talking about.
Big old T-Rex head. But
that's
it's at the very end. Okay. The big T-Rex head just before you drop down off the cliff.
My mom took me to.
You ever been?
No, I went to the one in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
And these are probably like, you're probably, I don't even know if you could relate to this. You're a little younger than me. When they had the backdraft, remember backdraft?
2 years younger than you.
Remember
yes,
backdraft?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do know.
They had the backdraft ride.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be man. I cried. I was grabbing my mom's leg because I thought it was so real.
Hey,
I was like crying. I said, "Mom," I said, "Get me out of here." I was shook. I was shook. That was the one ride that scared me.
I believe I probably was too when I was that age. Because like we said, we from that era. So I probably was just doing the same.
It seemed so real. Like the building was really catching on fire. And you could feel the heat.
Gas tanker coming through.
Yeah, you could feel the heat
and stuff. Yeah, that heat was real.
And then they had the King Kong. Jaws. Yeah, I remember E.T.
Yeah, you old school. You that era like me. That's
Future.
Before.
What's that one? Hello, McFly.
Oh, Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future. When they just had like the green screen, and then the car would move with the screen.
Good times.
But yeah,
that was the era that I was from.
And then I remember when I was in LA with my mom, I saw the studio for Home Improvement. Remember?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Tin Man, the Toolman Taylor. That's what the show is called, Home Improvement.
Yeah, Home Improvement. I know the show. I just don't think because I went to that Universal also, but I don't think I've seen the whatchamacallit. I think we did go over to where Back to the Future was filmed at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Back to the Future where that was filmed at, and seeing those spots. That's always fun, man. Back to the Future is always going to be like one of my favorites. I binge watched all 3 of them.
Aren't they redoing it?
I hope the hell not. I hope the hell not.
I thought they were making a sequel, but then they get you on YouTube all the time where they redo it. They'll be like, "We're gonna do the Friends movie," and then you're like, "Oh, Friends is coming out with a movie," and then you're like, and then you look it up, you're like, "No, they're not."
Yeah, I heard that they had threw the idea out there, but it was kind of like it's just fan service, and that like Tom Holland was gonna be doing it, and I was like, nah, we need to stop that. Now I don't even want to keep thinking about this shit. Because Back to the Future do not need to be touched.
So yeah. How's work been for you?
Work has been it's been good. It's been good, just being consistent, man. Consistent in doing what I'm supposed to do. And as far as like,
I see your stacks over there.
Gathering
your rubber band money over there.
Like getting clients to trust. And, you got to have meaningful conversations and whatnot in order to build rapport with you and yourself, and getting them to believe in you. And obviously you put out quality haircuts. When you put out a quality haircut, that right there first and foremost, but then you add in you can have them sit in your chair and they feel comfortable with you, comfortable talking with you.
Did you see that post I sent you where it says,
I'm not sure, maybe I'm sure
most men trust their barber than their wives?
Oh yeah, I believe that. I believe
they trust their barber, and they have more loyalty for their barber than they do for their own wives too.
I can see how that can be a thing, because you got to think about it. A barber can change your life.
Yeah,
he can get you a job, get you that job interview. He can make or break that. You know, he can get you a date to go get a wife. Like legit, like those type of things can be a thing. Like, because if you can't do it, if you don't know how to do it, then you got to go pay somebody to go do that for you. And if you don't know how to do it, then you got to come see me and mess around if you want. Nah, I'm playing. But nah, man, like you got to think about it. A barber, and then when you sit in them 40 minutes or you know that 45 minutes in the chair with them, even just this short little career that I done had so many conversations, so meaningful conversations both ways. Like they express some things to me and asking me things, and I'm kind of picking their brains and stuff like that, all while, you know, just getting a good quality cut at the same time.
You seen that Moroccan dude that you were talking about?
Yeah. He came back. I think that's, which one are you talking about?
The one that has his own business that was trying to, he's like, I want you to cut faster.
Yeah, he came back a couple of days ago.
And you showed him?
He came back a couple of days ago.
He's like, damn, you cutting faster now?
Oh yeah. I cut his hair in 20, I think I cut his hair in 25 minutes.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, in plumbing, I mean, I'm not a barber, but in the aspect, when someone wants repeat business with you specifically,
yesterday,
and they can choose any barber.
And that's exactly what happened.
They can choose, you know, in my sense, that you could choose any plumber. There's plenty of plumbers, but the fact that you want me specifically is like the ultimate compliment.
And that's how I try to be when you're sitting down in my chair. I like to think that I can have a meaningful impact.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, first and foremost, I'm gonna give you a good quality haircut, you know, and then after that, it's like the little things, the intangibles, like me being able to conversate with you and just have a good conversation, start up with that. And be able to, I'm asking you questions about what you got going on and your businesses, and, you know, I'm inquiring and thinking about, hey, so how did you get into this, you know? So like I said, and vice versa. They asking me, we're engaging with each other in these 45 minutes now. Especially nowadays, you know, I can cut a little faster. I've been doing it a little bit. Get some tips and tricks, so now it's like I can do these haircuts in like 45 minutes, and so that's a good range where I can sit there, still have a quality haircut, and get you out at a decent time too. And then that's the best part. Like you said, when they walk in, when I'm sitting behind that counter and they sit there and they, hey, Ron, and then I'm just like, maybe I forget, and I'm like, hey, you got me next, or either you busy. I'm like, nah, man, I'm free. Come through.
Or they book a call. Or the real loyal ones are the ones that come at 8:30.
Yeah, those are the ones I try to book. I try to, like, any customer, the client of mine, I like for them, you know, try to get in. You know, I want my guys in 8:30. I want to be out here. Come on through. Yeah. I start at 8:30. My day starts at 8:30. You know, if you want to come in at 8:30, come on in. I got
you. I was the first one to come at 8:30, consistent.
Yeah, I believe so. You probably were.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were.
Yeah.
Jess, she was always an early bird, because we was always filming and stuff like that. So she was always an early bird. Sometimes we'd be up in here, 6:30 up in here filming and shit. So I'd cut her up real quick or film something while cutting.
Our very first podcast was filmed at 6:30.
Like 6:30. Yeah, 6:30. Because
I wonder what that one looks like. Have you watched that one?
I'm trying to think.
You have it though, right?
I believe I do. It's somewhere. I don't believe I got rid of that one. I think it's on. Yeah, I do have it.
Yeah,
I do have it. It's just on one of my old hard drives and stuff like that. I haven't. To be honest, I haven't even looked at that one.
That's when we were like that.
Back and look at it. That would be interesting.
Now our channel went from a baby to now it can drive. it's 16, episode 16.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like, I think we should probably put that out for like episode 25.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think that could be like episode 25.
Yeah.
Like after 24, our set number that we set out for, I think we could just put that out like for a little filler, just a quick one.
Throwback.
Yeah, throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Maybe do that for a throwback Thursday and still film it. But nah, man. So yeah, nah. It's just you gotta be consistent in anything that you do, man. If you want to, and I think for me, I have made, in my opinion, a very substantial growth from where I came in October of last year. August. It was August of last year. Up till now, because now, like I said, I got people that's really asking for me.
Yeah.
That comes in here every day, like, yo, Ron, you got me, or books with me, or hits me up on.
You got at least 50 clients, right?
No, not 50.
Nah? You ain't got 50 that have your number and request you? You have
not 50.
40?
That hit me up like constantly, and
that's the goal then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The goal is for sure 50.
Because those 50 people know people.
Consistent.
Those 50 people get 100.
Yeah.
Those 100 people get you 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Those 200 people get you 500.
Consistent.
500, you can start your own shop.
Yeah, exactly. The consistent ones, because like I said, the goal for me is to still, within these next 2 years, is to be fully booked.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, like a whole time?
Yeah, where I can't get off my feet.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I mean by fully booked. Or I gotta like maybe schedule a lunch. And by that time, that's when I get fully booked and I realize they're my clients, my people, and not just like, oh, okay, well, the shop leftover guys or something like that. That's when I can be like, all right, maybe it's time to start thinking about venturing off, going into my own creative spot where I can control my environment, control the elements that I want, because I got these loyal guys that's loyal to the soil. That's loyal to the soil, and that's willing to ride with me and go wherever I can go. And I've got a couple of guys like that right now. It's only like a few for sure that I know if I was to up and obviously I ain't gonna do that, but if I was up and leave right now, I know for a fact they'll come to me. Yeah. There's only a couple, but I need more than a couple.
Special bond.
Yeah, exactly. I need my magic number.
What I like about the owners of this barbershop, bro, is like I don't have too much interaction with them, but the interaction that I've seen is they want to see you win, which is good. And whatever that is. So yeah. I'm at a little crossroads with my job, bro. It's been slow for the past 4 weeks, bro. And slow means small paychecks, and small paychecks means things get a little stressful. I'm not living check to check, but I'm also like starting to look at how much I'm spending at the grocery store, how much I'm spending on coffee, and then like, I'm cutting back.
Yeah, when you start looking and have to look at these numbers and stuff like that.
And I have to be realistic in the sense that the trajectory of where I am with this company, and what I had a good January, March, and February. I was killing it, 100,000.
Hell yeah.
Not I made 100,000, but I sold over 100,000.
know what those.
So then
you sell 100,000 in 2 months.
April, May, and now coming up on June, it's been going down. So it's been kind of like stressing me out. It's been kind of like throwing my sleeping patterns, and then. I really like this company, and they took me in a time of need, but at the same time, I got a job offer in St. Pete, and I just feel like Central Florida is just so saturated right now. And also, I have goals that I want to do outside of plumbing, and you know, the goals that I want to do outside of plumbing, I need plumbing to work so that I can get that money to go do what I want to do. Yeah. But I got to be realistic with myself. I'm not making 6 figures at this company. Yeah. So I have to make a decision, and then sometimes, you know, obviously, you know, when you want a goal so bad, you squeeze it so much, and you want it so bad, it almost paralyzes you in present time. That's a quote I was working on. So, I
ain't gonna say it still don't hit like the first time you said that on the phone. The very first time you said that on the phone, and I don't remember how you said it, but man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but we basically, I'm like paralyzed, and then it's just like the job is like stressing me out, and you know, I feel like Central Florida has just been saturated with the plumbing companies, and it's just like you look up plumbing wherever you are. If you're in Winter Park or you're in University, you see like 10, 15 plumbing companies, bro, and it's just hard for the company to compete. And I just want a fair fight, you know? And you know, today I worked like 5 hours, bro, and it's just like, this is causing unnecessary stress on me, bro. And it's just like, I gotta make a move, and I gotta take a chance. And you know, I'll always love Orlando, but I feel like there's more opportunity for me in Tampa, St. Pete, and Clearwater. So we'll see. You know, I just got the offer on Tuesday, so I gotta make a decision. I know the company that I'm working for is not listening to these podcasts, so I'm gonna use some of that vacation time before I leave. And I mean,
even if they was, it don't matter. Yeah, that's your vacation time that you accumulated. Yeah. So that's mine, motherfucker.
So sometimes, like the last 3 weeks, Ron, I'm gonna be real. Like I've been kind of psychoanalyzing myself, and then be like, what am I so stressed out about? I said, I got food, I got money, I got clothes, I got a car, I got an apartment, and then it's just like I feel stagnant.
You know, it's so funny because I saw a little Instagram reel just a few minutes, like maybe about a couple of hours ago. Well, not a couple of hours ago, but a couple of hours ago. We was just arriving here, but just before I had like left the house, and it was like it was this guy. It was this like little stick figure, a little reel. And it kind of goes back to that, and it's like,
thank you.
Look at that.
You couldn't even let us do 20 more minutes.
All we needed was 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Compressor break, 3 in a row.
Exactly.
Here we go.
We back after our compressor break.
You like my rhymes?
Like my boy Austino said, 3 in a row, compressor break, here it go.
Yeah, I got a couple of bars.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna start the beginning of the pod with our bars, man.
Oh God.
Just beware.
I'm looking for ghostwriters, people. DM me.
I'm the ghostwriter.
But I actually kind of want to talk about something serious, man. How do you feel about bipolar, bro? I kind of wanted to talk this in the beginning, but we're here now.
I mean,
like, what is your opinion? Like, do you think it's real, or?
I think it's real, but I think it can be just how the spectrum, how much. I think everybody can be a little, you know, have some ups, some downs and stuff like that. But when it starts to describe like whether you got multiple personalities or something like that, or if you're just like regular right now, or then you just be having high moments or something like that, and then you just have super lows. It's like, what do you do during those times when you're super low? I mean,
do you think there's such thing as a person in this world when they say I'm happy all the time? Do you think they're lying when they're saying that?
Hell no. Ain't
it's
no
a front?
Man, please, ain't nobody happy all the time. Hell no. If somebody ever tell you they happy all the time,
or you think there's people out there that
I
mean, I have seen people like they perceive to be like even killed, like they're always like cruising, like.
Well, shit, I try to be that way. But hell no. But I can lose my shit sometimes too.
Yeah. So
like I said,
I was trying to do some research, and I'm like, just trying to psychoanalyze myself to see. I was like, man, am I bipolar, or just because like there's different types, and there's no definitive test. There's no blood test for bipolar. Blood, you almost it's almost up for interpretation. So they do it based on your patterns, but there's a type 1, I'm doing more research, but type 2, I guess type 1 is if you have more than 7 days, like so some people have sleepless nights. I've never had 7 days of sleepless nights. I might have had a sleepless night 1 or 2, but never like, you know.
How about, now, what do they consider sleepless night? Like you just get like an hour a night, or just like hour, 2 hours a night?
Yeah, almost, or none at all. In the extreme cases, none at all.
Okay.
So
now, if you getting into 7 hours of like 1, 2, no hours of sleep, then the brain can start really fucking with you. And I could see how that can start messing with your have you hallucinating, or have you feeling real obviously irritable and like just crazy in your own head, because obviously you have not gotten sleep, and you're starting to see things differently and whatnot. So and that can obviously mess with the way your body and your brain are function. So that's where I would be like what's the real definition of sleepless?
And then I was also psychoanalyzing myself, and I realized, I was like, man, I'm stressing about my work. Like, it's not like some type of chemical thing. It's just like I don't feel like I'm progressing, and that's why I'm in a bad mood.
But I think a lot of people, everyday people are stressing about work. Right now, everybody is stressing about work, because obviously they ain't just how we're stressing about it's not enough, or you stressing about it's just not enough for you and stuff. Hell, it's not enough, and shit is going up every single day, except prices for work. Except
for wages.
Our wages for work. Everything going up every single day except our wages. Yeah. And then we're stressing about how to feed ourselves, feed our families, things like that. Make sure we can, feed, like.
And that's one thing I don't like about, I've been doing the corporate plumbing thing for almost 2.5 years, and I've noticed it, and I'm trying to give this place a chance, and it's just like they're not in tune with us. Like, these people are like in Sarasota. I don't know anything about these people that does my payroll, that make these decisions if they lay me off, or if I don't do right, or if a customer said I was rude. I don't know any of these people. So like the company that's in St. Pete, it's only 5 plumbers, and they have a guy that's been plumbing. His name's Brooklyn. Funny you said that. The signs are telling me to go. My cousin's named Tom. It's called One Tom Plumbing. I've always wanted to live by the beach, work by the beach, and it's just like the opportunity's there for me to take it.
You know what? Also,
and I gotta roll the dice.
I'm not gonna lie. When, like I was telling my story a couple pods ago about working at Hunter Plumbing, that was hands down. I worked there for about 18 months, and that was one of the better plumbing companies that I've ever worked at. Small little 4, I think it was when I was there, it ranged between 4 and maybe 5 guys. Yeah. And I think we had like 3 or 4 trucks. At one point, one of the trucks broke down, so it whatever. But yeah, we had like maybe 4 trucks at one time, just going in each little spot. No, 3. And then it was 2 people in the back. It was the husband and the wife, and they handled everything. And like I said, that was the dude. Whatchamacallit, he came, sat in my house, saved my job for 2 months. You know, it's
a father and son running it.
It was one of them type of companies where, you know, they get personal with you. You know, and I'm not the type to ever go backwards, at least with work. I've done that in other things, other relationships, but work-wise, I try not to go backwards. So when I decided to leave them, it was just because they did something to a buddy of mine, and I was like, all right, well, if they could do that to him, then, you know. And then there was one time where I was like, yo, I need to get home at such and such time. I don't need no more calls. If I come home after this, I'm putting it in. So I was kind of frustrated with that. But outside of that, man, I mean, it is what it is. These smaller, the more intimate, like, companies and stuff like that, you're going to get that type of feeling because you're going to be able to feel like you can talk to him. I always felt like I could talk to Bill without him feeling like he's my boss.
Yeah.
I always felt like, yeah, obviously you know he's your boss, but at the same time it was like I felt like I could talk to either one of them, Bill or his wife, and feel like.
And you know what was
like
wild,
just
bro?
a regular conversation,
like 2 weeks ago.
man.
You know what was wild, Ron? Is two weeks ago, I requested
Never got
off.
that for Charlie.
So I saw a friend from high school, my boy K Brooks. K Brooks,
building.
well,
not in the building, but shout outs to K Brooks.
So you know, he's got the junk removed. He's the one that put me on the David Goggins and the motivational speeches, bro. He was listening to David Goggins before David Goggins was even a thing.
Oh, nice.
Like this was like 10, 15 years ago. Like that's why I always told Kyle, I was like, man, you knew about David Goggins. Like he called it. He was the one that taught me how to like think outside the box. And then he's also like, I remember one time he got mad at me, and then because you know I was down and out, and I was like, man, I could never afford to go visit Fiji. And he was like, man, he said, don't fucking he said, don't say that. Yep. And he said, who do you think you are? And I was like, nah, I just don't got the money to go to Fiji. He's like, he's like, you figure it out. Yep. So he just always gave me that figure out attitude. His pops unfortunately passed away, and but good man. He was like your pops. Had his own business, had his own landscaping. Passed away, but I went to go visit him in Clearwater when we took that week break. I had to go see him. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that comes in Florida, I have to. You know, especially if it's a friend from Virginia or you know someone from my past that I'm really cool with. So. I go out there in the Clearwater at nighttime. I actually worked that night. I was on call, so I kind of like risked it. I had the work phone, so if I had to turn around, I was just turn around and grab my work van. And I was out there in Clearwater, and I was like, man, I was just like looking. I was like, man, I kind of like this place. I like Clearwater. I like St. Pete. I was like, this is a cool area. So then. I put my resume out there, and then the guy named Brooklyn from One Time Plumbing calls me. Yeah, he calls me, and then we start talking, and I was like, yeah, just come inside, come in for an interview whenever you get a chance. I didn't even tell him I was coming, bro. I just popped up on him. And I just said, hey, my name's Austin, and we just started talking, and then I gave him my license, and he did the background check, not expecting anything, bro. And then Tuesday, him and his son run the franchise, and his son said, "Oh, Austin, you still want the job?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like,
When did he call you?
What?
When did you put the information in? Go out for the interview?
Like 2 weeks ago. So I thought it was a wash.
He just called you 2 weeks. And
the thing is,
Tuesday.
the background checks, my background checks take longer.
Yeah, because you got your...
Because I'm a government informant. No, I'm kidding. No, I've lived, you know I'm a gypsy. You know I'm part gypsy.
Shit. Oh, yeah.
Not literally, but metaphorically, I'm a gypsy. And I've lived a lot of places. So then when they run my license, they're like, all right, what the hell was this? Because this is insurance. These are like what were you doing in Arizona?
Vegas.
What were you doing in Vegas? What were you doing in Charlotte? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave Virginia? So he's just like, yeah, man, everything's good. So, the offer's on the table, bro. So if the company I'm working for right now want to act up, we can just part ways. It's cool. So it is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, I like my manager, my plumbing manager, real cool guy. real laid back. You know, the GM, I think they noticed something because when someone starts shaving and they start taking days off work, the GM went like this. He was like, he was like shaking my head. He's like, Austin, you're doing really good out there. You're killing it. You're killing it. I said, man, that's what I said. I grabbed my heart and I said, man, thank you, man. That means a lot to me. And I really did mean that. Because, you know, finally someone noticed, like, you know, the work that I put in and the stuff that I do and like my but it's a little too late.
Yeah.
But, you know, they kind of have the sense because every time I go in the office, like, what's going on? My boss has that sad face, like he knows it's coming.
They know when you're checking out.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how they did me. That's exactly how they did me. And they knew exactly, because I was checking out. I was all the way checked out. That's why they let me go. Allegedly. That was their reasoning for letting me go. Seems like you're not focused around here. No, I'm not focused. Not on y'all shit.
Yeah.
I'm focused on my shit.
Well, my situation, they don't want me leaving.
Exactly.
Because they're like, you know, but I don't know, bro. I gotta, you know, in your 30s, you gotta trust your gut feeling.
Yeah. You can't keep.
So like, I just, the writing's on the wall. I worked for a company that last year that got taken over by a corporation. The cost started running down, and it's like the writing's on the wall, bro. And it's just like, you know, I actually talked to one of my customers today. And I was like, yeah, I might be going to St. Pete, but I'm a little nervous. And he's like, don't worry, Austin. He's like, you're always gonna be nervous when you're doing something different or outside the box. But this is how you grow as a person.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, is it really that bad to take a risk to go work plumbing at a beach town? Like, it's not like I'm going to Arkansas. It's not like I'm going to the middle of Wyoming or Idaho.
It's not like you're really starting.
And I'm not even that far from Orlando, bro.
You're just moving. Essentially, you're just going to another area.
Yeah.
You're just working somewhere else.
I mean, I'm not leaving Orlando because I got my apartment.
Yeah. It's just
I don't got the bread. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Bless you.
Thank you. You're just plumbing literally somewhere else.
And it's a little adventure, and I get to expand my empire, you know? I got my Orlando customers, you know? And I just, you know, if that becomes a permanent move, right now I'm just testing the waters.
Yep.
So whether, you know, I'm thinking about the third week in June to start, or the first week in June, I just want to make sure I got my money for July month rent and not have to touch the savings.
Yep.
And then we just keep things moving, flow like water. And then, I got to get back into that 6 figures.
Because I still be having my people calling. I still be having my ace people still calling for me.
Yeah.
And I still be sliding them your way.
No, I will.
So,
it's
you know
just
how that go.
Not to sound bougie, but I'm not coming out to Orlando for no less than $500.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah, so like if I got two family men that I can turn those little small jobs over to if I need to.
That's all that matters to me. I'll be like, because that's all I always say when they randomly call me up, like, and I'll just be like, well, I can't get to that, but I'll send them over to you. Just send them over to somebody that you trust them.
I think St. Pete is the move, bro, and I never thought I was gonna decide that on this show, but I feel, the good thing about this show, bro, is that I can go back and like look at the progress. I can see what my mindset was for episode 16, what my mindset for episode 4 was, and like I can go back and then we can see how we grow. And dude, we've done a lot. In 16 episodes, don't leave me hanging. But we've done a lot, bro.
Yeah,
our channel can drive now. We can get behind the wheel. And we're gonna turn 18 in 2 episodes, and there's a lot of growth. And yes, I do have that six-figure mindset, but I also got to be realistic. That's the point I'm really trying to make, Ron. I'm not going to make six figures at this company no matter now.
No,
I'm not. And I'll be lucky to crack 60,000.
Yeah.
And I got to make a decision. And these corporation people, they're worried about their jobs. They're worried about what they look like.
They're worried, yeah, of course. They're worried about just like he tried to butter you up and all this other stuff. That's what they're
Man, show me with my paycheck, boss.
That's what they out here.
Show me with this.
They're trying to
show me how my big commission.
Boy, Austin, you're doing a great job great job. They trying to butter you up and just make sure you well, I mean, like you said, and I appreciate that. Don't give a shit. Just saying that in front of your face, man. Like, we gotta make sure he stays.
I think the GM cares. I'm talking about the people above. I'm talking about the people that run the Orlando office outside of Orlando. So Sarasota is the corporation, and then Wrench Group is the people that own they own that one company you used to work for too, Red Cap. They bought Red Cap. But Wrench Group is it's like a town hour outside of Atlanta. But I mean, it's nothing against them, bro. And it's
outside of Atlanta?
Yeah. It's called Wrench Group. But they own all these HVAC, plumbing, electrical companies. I mean, I don't know too much about them. But yeah. I like my coworkers. And I don't really have problems with too many, except that one person named
that won't be dropped on the show. So.
Charles. But I think we'll never get along. But it is what it is, you know. Best of luck to him. And dude, I was actually watching this episode. Not to get off topic, but this kind of goes along. Yeah, no, it's this filmmaker. He's called Under White Belly. But
is that the one that you sent me earlier?
Yeah, and the dude got half his head shot off, and then he did the interview, and then he said, "What do you think about forgiving people, bro? Like, what is your view on?"
Apparently, you have to, because. For me, obviously, I do know a little bit about this, especially just as of recently
with your dad,
with my pops.
Yeah.
So, as of recently with my pops, I had to do it. I spent 8 years not talking to that man, to him, because of some things that he did and said to me and my children. And my wife would tell you she would try to ask me questions and stuff like that, or ask me like how I feel about him and stuff, and I didn't want to talk about him.
What was your breaking point to make you? Did you initiate the conversation with your dad?
No, he had said some disrespectful things.
No. I'm talking about when you reconnected.
No, he randomly called me up.
And you answered, but has he tried to call you before that?
Before then, we've had maybe one or two tries where I had one conversation. Before that, I know for a fact I had one conversation that didn't go nowhere. I was driving to Georgia, one time, and it was just me and him. It was just me, and I was driving, and he randomly called me, and I'm in the car driving 3 hours. So I'm like, well, maybe this is a good time to have it. And it didn't go nowhere. And then before that, outside of that, it didn't really. I think
when
he said
you reconnected and you like genuinely forgive him, because you could say you forgive, but you still have you still have that I don't know, hate or negativity or whatever you want to say.
I always say you can forgive a person, but you can forgive a person, genuinely forgive a person,
but they still got one eye open.
But it's like also at the same time, I don't forget what you said and what you have done. That's why right now.
Did he say sorry for what he said?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, me and him was in tears, like both of us. I was in tears for sure. I seen his eyes, and that's why I'm glad we actually did do it. in front of each other at the shop because he just, like I said, he pulled up.
He cried at the shop?
Yeah, he didn't like cry.
Was he the only one at the shop?
Yeah, by this time we pretty much closed up. So
he came at closing.
Yeah.
And you're the last one always at the shop.
So we sitting on the bench, and I looked in his eyes, and I seen like he was glossy. My pops don't cry. I think I might have seen him cry at his mother's funeral.
I've never seen my dad cry.
So that's probably the only time I've ever seen my pops cry, and that's fucking umpteen years ago. So that's how I know. But when I saw his eyes was like kind of like glossy, like I said, he didn't shed a tear, but his eyes was glossy. That's when I was like, oh, okay. He is genuinely.
Did you give him a hug?
Yeah, of course. Nice. And me, I'm a crier. I'm a crier. I'll shed a tear quick. But I'll shed like pissed off, anger,
what's that quote?
Anger tears, all kinds of days.
You wear your emotions on your sleeves?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
That's what
I'm definitely that guy. Because I'll shed some anger tears, all kinds of days. Anger, pissed off, sad, happy, all kinds of tears. But me and him, I genuinely forgave him. And like I said, I always still remember it. But he acknowledged his part, his action, and I genuinely forgave him. I looked at him and I'm like, all right, he ain't bull stuffing.
Yeah.
He can't bullshit me, and I was ready. So, but that's how I feel. I feel forgiveness is a thing that can happen. It can happen, but I think everyone has to be held. You have to be held accountable, and you got to be able to. If you did something to somebody,
well, I'm thinking about forgiving some people,
or vice versa.
How do I? I mean, you're a lot more rational than I am.
I think you're probably.
How do you I want to forgive these people that I cut off in my life, but I also want them to know why you made me so mad to the point where I want nothing to do with you.
You gotta have that conversation. It has to be open. Cause like I said, it was 8 years. I count maybe 3 times I talked to my pop. One time for sure, just driving, and then outside of my brother's wedding.
How'd you feel afterwards, after you had that moment?
Honestly,
it felt like a weight off your shoulder?
It did feel like that. It did feel like that. Because now I didn't have to worry about, because every time I used to hear my pop's name, something would go through me. Just anger, hatred at one point. It was always like that. I'm like, dog, I don't want to hear his fucking name. Y'all stop. Y'all joking around. My parents or my little brother or something, they'll be joking around or something like that. But it's I didn't want to hear his name at that time because of all I kept hearing. Whenever I heard his name, I just kept hearing him saying what he said about my children and about my mother. And that's all I had heard until, like I said, I forgave him for his actions. And it was
a weight off your shoulders.
I don't have those feelings no more. I don't have those feelings no more.
Well, Ron, I'm gonna practice what you preach. I'm gonna go down the list, and I'm gonna start with my family.
It is a tough conversation.
I'm gonna contact some family members.
That's what you gotta do. Me personally, I'm always the one to have I would rather do it in.
The thing is,
person. Obviously, you can't
in my
do that
situation,
in person.
I need to initiate it because they have tried to, and I've declined it. So it's on me now. At this point, it's on me.
Yeah, at that time
I have to initiate it.
Yeah,
and they're probably let me just give Austin his space.
And that, more than likely,
they were respecting my space because I have a cousin we mutually talked through, and I tried to explain the situation. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not gonna let my job stress my family situation out. and I'm not gonna put that stress.
That should be two separate.
It's two separate things, and that shouldn't be my crutch. Be like, oh well, work's stressing me out, and that's a sorry ass excuse.
That is,
and that's just self-analyzing. And I need to be man up and look at the man in the mirror and be like,
that's
hey,
two different. Keep them on two different planes.
So I'm not. Monday I'm gonna do it, and I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, you know, I have a really good mom and dad. You know, my brother and I, we're a little estranged right now. I haven't talked in a year, but it's just, I mean, it's different, dog. It's different because that. You know, my brother's situation and my situation. You know, I can feel the anger from him, and he knows he feels the anger here, but we're almost like the same.
All of y'all are too grown. Y'all are too grown not to be able to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And especially now, with you thinking this way, it's easy, and your maturation, how you started to work on yourself, it should be, all right, go ahead. You start the conversation, and whatever happens after that, at least you started it. You brought it up. You put it out there, how you're feeling. So whatever happened, whether it goes, all right, you know what, let's come to a resolution, or some be like, all right, nah, this still don't feel right. You already did your part, so you're done. Now you might still feel the same way afterwards, because I've had that too. Like I said, I had a 3-hour almost about maybe an hour and a half conversation with him that day when I was driving up there, and still didn't get nothing out of it. Now, granted, that's why I also said I feel like I would like to, me personally, I'm one of the ones I want to have a face-to-face with, over the phone, over text, and things like that. You know, it gets misconstrued and stuff like that. I want to be able to see your actions, see your face, see your body language, see how you reacting to the things that I'm saying, and I want you to see. But obviously,
my situations, my family's out of state.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, also, before we even get to the face-to-face, or see each other in the physical form.
That is true.
I need to have a phone conversation.
That is true too.
Because like I have a lot of hurt and anger, and you know.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna show out because even when my pops pulled up on me, because he did pull up on me. And
how do you know you worked at this barbershop? Your brother told him?
Yeah, because. Yeah, my brother told him, and then also he called maybe a couple hours before
the shop
came to me. No. He called my number. He got my number, but he called me like maybe a couple hours before he came, and he just asked.
You left that window open though in the 8 years hiatus that you weren't talking, because if you really cut him off, you would have blocked his number. So you did leave that little bit of window of reconcile.
Yeah, because I like I said, I have. There was one, like I said, the one time. Like I said, I might have tried 3 times, and there was also another time where I tried to. He called me. I didn't. The drive up to Atlanta, didn't have nothing. Then maybe like a year after that, or like a year and a half after that. I thought about writing him a letter because I was talking to my mother-in-law, and I was like, I thought about our accent, because she had issues with her pops for a long time too, and you know, I just kind of wanted some, you know, on her insight, and she was like, try and write a letter. But I had tried to set up something where we can talk out in public, so neither one of us can lose our shit. So yeah, we tried to set it, but then he take back, because I thought about it. I was like, you know what, I'm still not ready. Yeah. Me personally, I'm still not ready to have. I texted him earlier in the week and I was like, hey Dad, can we meet up for lunch or something like that and have a conversation, talk. And then later on in the week, I told him, I was like, you know what, I'm not ready to do this. can we reschedule it? And he kind of got a little snippy with me through the text. This is through text. He kind of got a little snippy with me. He was like, well, Ronnie, time is my money and all this other stuff. And next time you will let me know when you want to do it and all this other stuff. And I was like, I looked at that text. I was like, oh, I'll let you know the next time I want to do it.
Yeah.
3 years later go by. And so
that's nice.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. You got to make some big decisions. I got to make some big boy decisions in June. So wherever it goes,
everything will work out.
I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, I have this warrior mentality. I'm trying to be a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war. So I got to keep it moving, just like a shark, you know. If a shark doesn't, that's what I'm saying. And that's probably another reason I've been a little stressed out and I gotta feel alive, bro, is that you gotta keep it moving. Like, if I don't think I feel like it, keep it moving and I just stay stagnant, I'm not a chiller, bro. Like, I'm not one to go watch sitcoms all day. Like, I gotta keep things moving. I gotta be in the gym. I gotta go walk the dog. I gotta, do research. I gotta keep my brain moving. Otherwise, negativity gets in here. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. So, I'll let you know how it goes, bro. And I'll let the viewers know how it goes. And, at the end of the day, I got good parents. I have a good family. And I love my mom and dad. So,
and they love you too.
So, yeah.
Everything's gonna turn out. Everything's gonna turn out good.
Yeah.
Austino, so.
I got a little emotional up in here.
Hey, I know.
Yeah. We had a little Dr. Phil moment.
Yeah, you got to sometimes, man. But it's just one of them
things. And for all potential customers, this is a good man. And I've talked to some very personal things. He's like a brother to me. Yeah. I've known him for the past 4 years, and we've had some.
Is it going on 5?
Yeah, going on 5. We'll say 4 right now.
Yeah.
But we've had some really good conversations, and we've both elevated our game since we first met each other.
Hell yeah.
Both of us in your career, and
yeah, we both pushed each other.
I mean, you were there when I first started making money, bro. Like, when I really started touching real money.
Started feeling
like really touching money. I was like, yo, my girl left me. It's all good, but I'm making money. So
and it's funny because I used to only want you to like do my camera inspections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used to be the first person I would call, and I'm calling Austin.
Yeah.
So even when they tried to like separate us and stuff like that.
I remember that. The Polish lady. Remember the Polish lady for $18,000?
I feel like I have, yeah.
I put the nail in the coffin on my enemy.
Yeah, okay.
I put the coffin.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute, she sounds very.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah. Yeah, like nothing wrong with you. But I definitely was.
And then I had you between that little fight. They're like, oh, that was supposed to go to me. No,
that's my guy. So.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, Austino.
Yeah.
That was episode 16.
We're definitely about to run out of hands.
Yo, we about to. Oh yeah, we are gonna eventually run out of hands. Yo.
We're gonna have to get like a billboard, or not a billboard, like crazy. A poster that says 21.
That looked crazy when we just did that, but signing out.